Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing a great job for the sub. I am here with you, nope, to work on page 81 and 82 in our workbook. This was the lesson from yesterday. I'm going to share my screen with you so that you can see what I can see that we all will see. This is what I want, I think. Nope, that's not it. Nope, wrong thing. Oh, for goodness sakes. Hold on just 1 second. Let me find the camera that I want. Oh, too many things, friends. So I want my visualizer go. Let's see if I can get this for you. No, okay. There we go. I do believe now you can see your workbook pages. Yesterday, we all stopped at about page 81. Some of the classes got a little bit further than others, but that's okay. Let's see what's happening here. Woo, there goes my camera. Guess what? I'm going to tell you while I'm getting this set. I already recorded this video one time. And guess what? I didn't have my screen showing, so it was all wasted. And now, of course, this doesn't want to stay. There we go. We're going for it. Let's rock and roll. We have Mr. Lou. I'll go down here. Mr. Lou is following the directions shown when he flies his remote control airplane. So you can see the directions here. He's going to add 15 milliliters of oil every day, and he's going to add 5 milliliters of oil for each flight. So if we want to model the amount of oil he needs for one flight of one airplane using a numerical expression. So every once in a while, it's okay to pause your video. You could write this in and then come back and see if I have the same thing and we can compare our answers, or you can compare your answers to mine. So if you want to do that, go ahead. You're going to write down the amount of oil he needs for one flight of one airplane using a numerical expression. So what I would write is he needs 15 milliliters of oil daily, and we know and 5 milliliters for each flight. So I would do the expression 15 plus 5. How could we model the amount of oil he needs for one expression for one flight of 4 airplanes using a numerical expression? So now we know one flight, 15 plus 5. Now I have 4 airplanes making that one flight. So I'm still going to need 15 milliliters of oil and 5 milliliters of oil. But now Mr. Lou actually is going to have to do that 4 times so he can do it for each airplane. How do your numerical expressions from parts A and B compare? So let's think about that. Go ahead and pause and write your answer. Hopefully you are thinking, well, they both have this 15 plus 5. So this 15 plus 5, or the sum of 15 and 5 times 4, is 4 times greater than 15 plus 5. Now, you may have written 4 times as much or 4 times as great. That all means the same thing. So the wording is fine, however you did it. So hopefully you have that same, something in that same range or same thought. All right. So I'm going to jump down to the check understanding. Yesterday, some of the classes did this part. You can see I've erased. Some of them did not. So I'm going to go over these. If you did them already, you can just listen again and refresh your memory. We did 28 times 6 and 14 times 6. So I'm looking at these two expressions and thinking, how are they the same and how are they different? So right here, I can see that they both have a times 6. I want to look at the 28 and the 14 and think about how those numbers work together. How are they compatible? You might want to pause and write your answer now. 14 and 28 are both multiples of 14. So 28 times 6 is, you could write this a couple of different ways. You could say is 2 times as great or is twice as much as 14 times 6. So 2 times as much, 2 times as great, twice as great, however you word it, as long as it's reflecting that it's 2 times 14 times 6. The next one, 3 times the sum of 8 plus 6 and 8 plus 6. Again, look at what's the same. We have 8 plus 6. Now, compare that. We have a little bit extra on that first expression. We have 3 times the sum of 8 plus 6. Did you need to pause? Is what? 3 times as much as 8 plus 6. Hopefully you have something similar. All right. So now we should all be at the same part for number 1. Each month for 2 months, Kyle buys a pack of 8 replacement tires for his remote control car. At the end of each month, he has 1 tire left. Explain how the numerical expression for the number of tires Kyle uses in 2 months compares to the numerical expression for the number of tires he uses in 1 month. So as I look through for important information, I see that it's 8 replacement tires. He has 1 tire left. That should give you a big clue about an operation. So we're going to explain how they compare. 2 months compared to 1 month. So if I look, do you need to pause so you can write your answer first? I would have 8 replacement tires minus that 1 that's left. That's 1 month. And I'm comparing that to 8 minus 1, but I need it to be 2 months. So these are my 2 expressions that I'm comparing. Now I'm going to explain. How would I explain the comparison? I see what's the same. The difference of 8 and 1 times 2 is what? Twice as much, twice as great, 2 times more than 8 minus 1. So right here, this wording could be a little bit different again. All right. All right, we're going on to the next slide. It says on your own, but you're going to have a paper to do on your own once we finish this. So let's keep working together. James is making banners for his club's airplanes to pull. Each banner is 5 feet long and it's attached to a 10-foot long rope. Attached. That's going to be they're together, right? So that gives me a hint about my operation. He models the total length of the banners and rope for 6 airplanes. And he says that it should be 6 times the sum of 5 and 10. He says the total length for 6 planes is 5 times as great as the total length for 1 plane. Correct his error. Go ahead and pause right now. Let's see how you correct his error. I agree with James that 6 times the sum of 5 and 10, that does represent because we have 5 feet long and 10 feet long. There's our rope. But he has 6 airplanes. So how many times as great should it be? It is 6 times as great. So that's where James made his error. Should have been 6 times, not 5 times. Hopefully you got that. If not, go back and look at it again and just make some corrections. Let's compare the numerical expressions here. 33 plus 67, 9 times the sum of 33 and 67. Look for your parts that are the same when you're comparing. And then what's different? Hopefully you're thinking 9 times the sum of 33 and 67 is 9 times as much as 33 and 67. Number 6, 4 times the difference of 2,101 and 987 compared to 2,101 minus 987. Find your parts that are the same, and then look at the one part that's different. 4 times the difference of 2,101 and 987 is 4 times greater than 2,101 minus 987. Okay. Last one. Let's explain 56 times 9 compared to 8 times 9. I can see that the times 9 is the part that's the same. So I want to look at 56 and 8 and think, how do they compare and how do they work together? I can say 56 times 9 is how many times greater than 8 times 9? What did you fill in that blank with? I'm hoping, fingers crossed, did you fill it in with 7? I hope so. Okay, so that's the end of our lesson 2. You can stop your video now and close your workbook. Don't stop it yet. After you can close your workbook, and after you stop your video, you can get the worksheet from the sub to do lessons 1 and 2 and see what you know. After that, you are going to do a reflection in Google Classroom. So take your time, do a good job, and I will see you tomorrow.